What is the source for B12? Spinach? Is that right, guys? Does anybody know? Who? Bacteria, that's one, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys an answer because I was vegan and I was told the same thing that Heinrich brought up. You know, where do you guys get your B12 from? You have to get it from meat. And the fact is that you get it from algae. They call it spirulina and chlorella. I'm sure you guys are familiar with those names. That's your source of B12. I just want to get that out there because it was something I had to research and I had to find. So I just want to just give it to you guys so you guys know. So like you said, I'm a marketer. I like to be in a plant-based business. I will never work for a company like Pepsi or Coca-Cola that will poison people. I like working with people that are going to provide products that are good for the body. Like Heinrich said, we met here at the Seed Experience. I had been a new vegan, and prior to, my favorite food was macaroni and cheese, chicken, cheeseburgers were my favorite, and hot dogs. And I love smoking cigarettes. That was my thing. And then I was watching this movie. I don't know, some of you may have heard of the hip-hop group TLC. So my creed, yeah. All right, she knows it right there. So I'm watching this documentary. It's about Left Eye and how Left Eye went to Honduras to meet somebody by the name of Dr. Sebi. It's S-E-B-I. Write that down, put that in your notes, go home, Google that guy. And he started talking about all these interesting things like milk being bad for you and cheese being bad for you. And I'm like, but that's not what they told me in 5th grade. They told me that's part of the 5 food groups. So I started doing this research and I found out that everything I was doing was destroying my body. So I hit the internet and I'm on Google looking like, okay, what's the new superfood? So goji berries, okay, let me get the goji berries. Let me get spirulina, da da da. And I came across this moringa. And I'm like, okay, moringa, what's this? And I look it up and I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is like the superfood. Where do I get it? Couldn't find it. I said, all right, fine, whatever. I'll find it one day. I come to the Seed Experience. I wasn't even going to come. My friend was like, yo, I'm doing this vegan event. You want to come? I'm like, it's vegan? Yeah, I'm there. So I go, I walk in, and the very first table was Heinrich and apparatuses there, right here in the corner. And I walk in and I'm like, oh, Moringa! And I just grabbed the bag. I didn't even ask what it was. I just pulled out the money, I gave it to him, because I knew what this plant was. This plant is life-changing. So, after I bought the plant, the powder, I said, I want to work with you. I'm a marketer. I want to work with you. So, we had negotiations. We came to a deal, and now we're partners. So, earlier this year, Heinrich and myself, we went to Tanzania, and we saw the Moringa plant live. So it's like, I'm at the apparatuses compound now. We walk in, and the sounds, it's like, I hate to be cliche, but it sounds like the Lion King movie, you know? All these like birds and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this is it, man, this is beautiful. You know, I'm not hearing like sirens and all that stuff, it's like nature. So you walk down like this little path, real skinny path, there's like bushes on both sides, and then you're like, you've been brainwashed by the media, so you're like terrified of Africa already, you know? So he's like taking me down here, and I'm walking. But I'm pretty brave, you know, I'm like, this is cool, I'm experiencing this, I'm loving it. And then we get down there, like, yeah, here are the trees, and they're I think it was like 3 months old. And these things are taller than me. I'm like, holy cow. So then we drive around Tanzania, and then we find a moringa tree that's just like in somebody's backyard. And the moringa tree is like from here to there. Very beautiful tree. It has flowers, has these long seed pods coming off of it. Very, very beautiful plant. So I had the experience of having the plant, going to Africa, seeing it grow in its natural habitat, seeing it grow wild, meeting with the German embassy down there, meeting with doctors and all these other people. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like all in on this thing here. I'm all in on this thing. So when we come back, we actually released the new packaging, which you guys can see there on the table, the new packaging. So we're going to be working very hard to get this thing into Whole Foods. If anybody here has a connect to Whole Foods, please let me know because you'd like to make that happen. I think it's imperative. The Vegan Dread. Clap it up for the Vegan Dread. He is a bodybuilder with just a vegan diet, no meat. Make sure you guys link up with Tori. So while I'm in Tanzania, we met with this lady. Her name is Josefa. The sweetest lady you could ever meet. Her energy was amazing. And she believes in a raw diet. She doesn't cook anything. The main story she told me about Moringa, which had me, you know, like really sold, because I was already sold. But she said that her hair was always gray in her elder age, and she said in the back it started turning black. So it started getting color back in her hair. So I was like, wow, this is, you know, stories that I'm not hearing, you know, so you're hearing from other people. So she comes up with this recipe book, and it's available for sale now. You guys like all my plugs, right? It's available for sale now. We have a package over there that comes with the full recipe book, which is all raw. We don't want to, you know, cook these ingredients to the point where there's no nutrients left. So the book is all about raw Moringa recipes. So I suggest that if you do pick up the Moringa powder, which is $5 less than it is on our Amazon site, make sure you get the book. The Moringa powder book. What's the title of the book, Heinrich? The title of the book?
It's Josefa's vegan Moringa raw food book. Recipes.
There you have it. So yeah, we're going to have that there. We're going to have that available on Amazon if you don't get it today, but I suggest getting it today because it's at a discount rate. That's very important. Now, before I wind down, I just want to know, does anybody here have any questions about the presentation about Moringa? Yes, hold on one second, I'm going to come to you. Yes?
So can you give a few examples of sort of things that you can recommend?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what she asked me is basically what you put the Moringa into intake it. And really quick, it's just smoothies. You know, I think that's the fastest answer. You know, show of hands, who makes smoothies? Exactly.
And one thing about smoothies, there's a movement actually about the green smoothies, and Moringa becomes very popular about that. You can also use, my favorite is having Moringa with spinach. It will increase, or it will enhance the flavor of spinach. I mean, it's leaf.
And another thing I do, which you'll see in the recipe book, I just make a tea. It's really fast. I take a teaspoon of Moringa, and I put it into you know, a tea mug, and then I would either, you know, brew my tea or just add hot water and honey, and that's it. Stir it up and drink it. Somebody else had a question over here?
What's the difference between, let's say, using the powder versus just using the tea leaves? Like, I've been doing Moringa for like 8 years, so I just like with smoothies and with like tea, I just like take the leaves whole, put them in, and like grind them up. Is it just like a better digestive like combination that happens when you use the powder versus the tea?
Okay, that's a very good question.
I understand why. The difference between tea and powder. Yeah?
The leaves and the powder.
The leaves and the powder. It's the same. It's exactly the same. The only thing is that the powder, of course, the particles are much smaller and the surface is bigger, and so you get more out of the that's the only difference. Yeah.
Is there any difference eating it raw versus a tea? Does applying the heat to it do anything to it chemically that change the benefits of it?
Yes and no. Mainly yes, because if you look, for example, at vitamin C will deteriorate under heat. proteins will denature under heat, which can also be good. For example, if you look at the iron, there will be more iron released when you cook it. So for the iron it's good, for the vitamins it's not good. So it depends what you want to achieve.
So just to clarify, you do get B12 from this, or you don't? You don't. Okay. It's just from an algae, you said?
Yeah, spirulina and chlorella.
Plants, green plants, can't make vitamin B12.
I think I saw another angle of that way.
Where?
My question was similar. I wanted you to talk more about the nutritional profile of moringa.
Right. I could go back to this one picture that I had. I know.